Ho, 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 everybody. This is Super Ninja Claus Austin back here with another SNA podcast video. And this is the Christmas Eve edition of the Wrestling News, part 75, episode 194. And and I want to wish you all you guys a Merry Christmas and happy holidays and a Happy New Year. Because tomorrow I won't be making a wrestling news nor a Raw review video because of the holiday, Christmas, of course. And hopefully, y'all have a very wonderful and a blessed holiday and a blessed Christmas as well. But we're going to be talking about today we're going to be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know. From the Wrestle Zone article on December 24th, 2023, on Christmas Eve, of course. And we're going to start off today with some Chris Statlander news now. As on WrestleZone, the watch list looks at what matches you should be watching, and it says, and they are recommended by today's professional wrestling star. WrestleZone recently spoke with Chris Statlander, who was asked to pick a match that best represented her TBS championship reign. Statlander said her rematch with Jade Cargill, whom she beat for the title, erased the skepticism, surrounding her title win. She said, I would say when Jade and I eventually had our rematch, and I did prove that I was the better wrestler and I was the rightful champion. I think that kind of said enough for itself. I know people were very skeptical on the way I won the title, Statlander explained. So no one really would have understood or solidified me as the champion until I had Jade in a fair match. She had plenty of time to rest and recover and do what she needed to come back in peak condition. She pointed out, while I was defending the title almost weekly up to that point, and I proved I was the better wrestler, I don't think there was doubt in anyone's mind after that match. And what's your thoughts? And it said you can watch the full match right here on the WrestleZone article site, with Jade Cargill fighting Chris Statlander in the rematch at AEW Rampage, which we gave, which which we watched, which we clearly watched plenty of times before. But I'm gonna ask you guys what's your thoughts on Chris Statlander defeating Jade Cargill for the. What's your thoughts on Chris Statlander defeating Jade Cargill? I should ask this question. What's your thoughts on Chris Statlander's favorite match? And do you think that proved to everyone that she really is a fighting champion? And she needs to win until the last minute just to be the better wrestler. Let me know in the comments down below. Which I'll say she really was. Like, otherwise, she wouldn't have beaten her for the AEW TBS Championship in the first place. Otherwise, Jade Cargill would have defeated her just like she did the Taya Valkyrie in the beginning of the match. In the beginning of the match on Double or Nothing, that's what it was. The beginning of in the beginning toward near the beginning of the year, back in May of 2023. Yeah. And is it your favorite match too? Like with Chris Statlander successfully defending the championship on the Rampage against Jay Cargill, which I did a review on that like back in was it August or September. Either way, it was like weeks before she made her WWE jump and debut. But yeah, I'm going to let you guys be the judge in the comments down below. I'm going to move on to the next wrestling news video, and that is some MJF news now. It explains the story behind his Burberry scarf. It's rare to see. He said it's rare to see. Oh no, not him. I'm saying it says it's rare to see MJF on an episode like of AEW Dynamite without his trademark Burberry scarf. All Elite Wrestling's MJF was a recent guest on the SI Media podcast. Or should I say more like the Sports Illustrated Media podcast, when asked about the story behind his Burberry scarf, Friedman shares the origins of why the scarf is part of his character. He said, there was a 16 and under bar like club, but it didn't a 16 and under bar like club, but it didn't serve alcohol in Long Island. MJF began. I can't remember the name of it. It was like Crazy Horse or something weird like that. Which don't say that near my mother, because she's so obsessed with that nickname because of our Native American grandfather. But anyways, and I went with my friends, and it was the height of the summer, and obviously all the girls are all over me, and that's damn it. Why is it acting like this right now? Oh, he said, the girls are all over me, and that's not hip, not hyperbol, I hyperbole. Like it is what I what it is. Like I'm very good at getting with women, but there was a guy in particular who I could see also had a line forming for him, and of course, this get agitate agitates me because whenever the wherever the spotlights are not on me, I get very agitated, like, and I look at this guy again, height height of summer, like, and this guy's got on Gucci shoes, long black jeans, and Bur Burberry scarf. Like, whoa, woo, wool, like woo, like it's the summertime. It's hot as balls. Like not just outside, like but in this club, like. And I'm thinking to myself, you scum, are you, you schmuck, like you schmuck, like the only reason you're, you're wearing that is so everybody in here knows you can afford it. And, and then I, I thought, and here you go. When when asked if when asked if Burberry uh, has ever reached out to offer some of some of their scar some of their scarves some of their scarves, like MJF reveals they have never spoken. He said, no, it's really funny. I've never reached out, nor have they, uh, nor have they, MJF said. I think we're we are at a standstill. Like we'll see what happens. I think there's a part of them that wants me to stop it, and there's another part of them that wants me to keep going because I'll tell you, I tell you point blank, there were not 10,000 people entering an arena with a Burberry Berry scarf on on before M, on before MJF and on before MJF came into the scene. And what's your thoughts on MJF admitting this, and also about he get a whole lot of attraction, and even when it's not summertime, like he still like summertime, like summertime, like he just wear the scarf because he just wearing it for just to see like he can afford such a scarf like that. And even for and what's your thoughts on him saying like about the scarf have never spoken to him previously before as well, on top of that. And yeah, let me know all about that, what MJF said on this article in the comments down below. But we also have one more thing that they asked him about in the interview, and it says like MJF responds like to Cody Rhodes' statement, like in that he will join WWE one day, which it said, or no, I don't think, yeah, this is something that we already did anyways. But it also said like you can check it out on here below, like onto the previous article a few days ago. But yeah, what's your thoughts on MJF on this interview, and would you get, and does it have your attraction? The scarf that he's wearing, like the scarf that he always wears around his neck, like when he's in AEW most of the times, like whether if he's in his ring gear or in his very excuse me, his very classy suits. Let me know in the comments down below. And then does he get your attention of the way he dresses and all that stuff? Yeah, leave a comment down below. And let's move on to the next news. And that scarf, that Burberry scarf, kind of reminds me of an old scarf that my mother used to wear when I was very little. Yeah, that was like years ago, though. But anyways, let's move on to the next wrestling news, and it is Miyu Yamas Shah Yamashita, yeah. Miyu Yamashita, yeah, that's what her name is. Like saying that she like Miyu Yamashita like grows her wrestling resume like in and out of Japan. It says like nobody carries the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling name on foreign soil better than the ace of the company. Miyu Yamashita like is one of the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling originals, like as she began her wrestling career under the promotion 10 years ago in 2013. Around this time, TJPW ran their wrestling shows in small venues where training mats like served as professional wrestling rings. Prior to professional wrestling, like Miyu Yamashita like only trained in MMA, and Kyokushin, Kyo, and Kyokushin, like Kyokushin, like a Japanese form of karate. Like TJPW accolades, like as one of the first members of the TJPW roster. Me Miyu's long tenure with the promotion gave her ample time to gun for top championships and accomplishments, like in BW's first major show, Tokyo Joshi Pro 16. She defeated Shoko Yakajima, to become the inaugural Princess of Princess champion. The two be- the two became longtime rivals afterwards, and wrestling enthusiasts recognize like Yamashita, like in Nakajima, like as two of TJPW's top stars, like to date. Like furthermore, their most recognized encounter was arguably their match at Grand Princess 2022. There, there, Shoko once again dethroned Miyu to retain the title for the second time. And here's the picture of the event back a year ago, or even a year and a half, about to be 2 years ago. And what's your thoughts on to this from for you, Joshi? Your to you, Tokyo Joshi pro wrestling fans out there. Let me know in the comments down below. And also, it says like Miyu's accolade accolades like as a singles competitor in TJPW does not stop there either. She recently won the Tokyo Princess Cup, TJPW's most prestigious annual tournament. Like Miyu defeated current SPW Queen of Asia champion Yuki Fuku, in the first, the finals to become the ultimate winner. It says American wrestling scene, like Miyu's recon, recognition in professional wrestling. However, it is not limited to the Japanese audience. She has plenty of experience wrestling in the U.S. and the United Kingdom, where she is a former pro wrestling Eve champion upon defeating Alex Windsor. Miyu also shared the ring with the likes of Athena, uh, Ali Catch, like me, like Misha Slamovich, Killer Kelly, and even Thunder Rosa. Well, I did not know she wrestled these women's wrestlers like these. But throughout her run outside of Japan, some of these match are available for free viewership on YouTube and may be accessed below. But what's y'all's thoughts on Miyu Yamashita for those fans out there who is a fan of her of her as a wrestler or even from her in her native country in Japan or like where she wrestled exclusively in Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling and she's the ace member on the roster. Let me know in the comments down below down in the comments below in for those Joshi fans out there. But we're gonna continue with saying like overall Joshi wrestling is on a consistent rise within the International Wrestling Alliance, like with the likes of Miru Yamashita representing her home promotion like of TJPW, like alongside the likes of Yuka Sakazaki, like and Maki Ito, the competition like between Japanese wrestling promotions remains high with increasing fan interest towards like TJPW. Nevertheless, it it might it may only be a matter of time before uh, wrestling like fans are treated to more Yamashita like content upon her growing fan base like in international experience. And what do you think? What's next for Miyu Yamashita if she gets the opportunity to wrestle in another promotion, whether that be in WWE, AEW, even TN, or even go back to TNA. Like when they go back to TNA, when she wrestled in her time, it was mostly Impact. But I'll say when they go back to TNA, do you think she's gonna go there or there? And we see more of her strong style ability into either of these promotions. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Or she could even wrestle in New Japan or even Major League Wrestling or even AAA or CMLL, like if she's interested in the Lucha Libre style wrestling or even just the American wrestling promotions or even Progress Wrestling over in England, where Mustafa Ali's scheduled to have a match at, and also where my boy Simon Miller usually have his wrestling match. He always be scheduling wrestling matches there. But yeah, let me know anything of the sort in the comments down below and where you want to see her next at. But we're gonna move on to some Rhea Ripley news now. And it says Rhea Ripley is very proud that she's being compared to China. Recently, WWE's Women's World Champion like Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio went to Australia to promote the Elimination Chamber PLE. While they were on the island, continent, like both Mommy and Dom were interviewed by the West Sport. Like during the interview, Rhea discussed how she is being compared to China. She said, "It's hard to go back and it's hard to go back with females like after that like for for sure I embrace like everything. I don't think getting compared to China is a bad thing at all. I think it's amazing. I'm actually very proud of that fact. Like mommy also shared that she enjoys her time beating both the men and women. She added, "The only problem I'm having at the moment is I've done all these amazing things with men that have been so good to me and let me do these things while I was doing that. The women's division was suffering a little bit, a little bit, and not getting billed like the right way. Like at a weird, it was at a weird time where things weren't a time, weren't certain and weren't certain and things were changing changing constantly so the women's division suffered a little bit like and now where we're trying to build it like back up. Is that she also added, obviously we have our Becky Lynch's and have Nia Jax. We have our Charlotte Flairs, our Oscars, all of that. Like, but it's time to make some. Come on. I've learned a little bit. And changes constantly. So the women's division suffered a little bit, and now we're trying to build it back up. And she was like, obviously, we have our Becky Lynch's, we have Nia Jax, we have our Charlotte Flairs, our Oscars, all of that. But it's time to make some new stars, like as well. And that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to make new names, trying to make new names and get the women's division rocking and rolling. So there's a lot of great challenges, but for me, like I love do everything. I love beating the men up. I love beating the women up. Like it makes me different and it makes me stand out, and it's a lot of fun, Rhea Ripley said. And what's your thoughts on that? And what's your thoughts of her trying to build the women's division up for the present and the future? Like we can have our future women's star, which we see plenty of future women's stars on NXT. Like you might see the progress. Like even like on NXT, like I see the progress being the successful one because we could see the likes of Roxanne Perez and uh, Tiffany Stratton and even Nikita Lyons, Kalani Jordan, Blair Davenport, even like and and Kiana James and and Thea Hale, even like and in NXT showing that they are the future stars in the NXT women's division, and I would agree with Rhea Ripley on that. And what's your thoughts on her taking her comparisons with China? Uh, China, like yeah, comparisons with China is a compliment, I should say. Yeah, pretty much that way she said. Like, I think it's very amazing. Actually, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, which I would agree in a way. I would say she have her dominant strengths, just like China. I gotta admit, she's very dominant with her strengths, like picking up men like up like Luke Gallows up and body slamming him right into the concrete floor. I was like, I ain't never seen no other woman did that to that guy before, body slamming him like that's like what China did with Mark Henry, like picking up him and slamming him right into the ring canvas. Back in the Attitude Era, like watching replays of that, like that looks very yeah. I was like, wow, like I've never seen no other woman doing that to someone that huge like that. That weighs 300 pounds. Like these women are like they're picking them up like if they're 300 pounds themselves, like which they're probably like 200 and a half 200 and a half pounds, I should say. Yeah, I'll say. But when it comes to comparisons with the Latino Heat and China, like with their like with the couples characters, I just think it's a bootleg version. But I gotta admit, Rhea Ripley's like the next China. Like when it like if she can keep keep this dominance up, like, and she like keeps proving why she's women's world champion, like until like she loses to a certain man. But anyways, we like she's like she can continue being a big star. She's already establishing herself and showing like her popularity on. She's like the reason why she's women's world champion. I gotta admit, like when she won that belt, it was in a very clean and very entertaining fight. Like she didn't need none of her male counterparts distracting Charlotte and getting the job done. But yeah, and yeah, we do have Becky Lynch's, Nia Jax. We got Charlotte Flair's and Bianca Belair's. Like they're already stars in their own rights. Like, but we need like she said, like she. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think about Rhea Ripley, what's next for her, and what's gonna be next for the women's division in general. But let's move on to the next wrestling news, and we got some Gunter news now as he describes how his feud with The Miz was beneficial. WWE Intercontinental Champion Gunter feuded with The Miz for several weeks, and he believes that the experience like benefited him like at WWE Survivor Series. Gunter beat The Miz to retain the gold. Like he he defeated The Miz in a rematch on December 18th, almost a week ago, of the WWE Raw episode. Hope I wasn't dozing off too much of doing the review. But anyways, like LOL. But anyways, let's continue by saying like Gunther recently made a guest appearance on the Busted Open holiday party in one highlight. Like he he discussed his feud with the Miz, like like which is the which is highlighted by Jeremy Lambert of Fightful for the for the transcription. But the ring general said this right here: the promo I had with Miz was fantastic for for myself. For myself, Gunther said. Uh, And he also continued, I enjoyed being in the ring with guys that have a similar style of me. But I even this of me, but I even more enjoyed the challenge of being with somebody that is completely different. And Miz is a polar opposite to what I am. The guy has been in the company for 20 years. He's an absolute pro. I feel like maybe aside like from the thing I did at the beginning with Sheamus, the the program I had with Miz is the thing that's benefit that benefited me. The excuse me, that benefited me the most so far. Gunther recently questioned where the Miz's big balls were. But that's a story for another day. Well, or not another day. I'll say that's in another article. And like in a previous interview, Gunther said that he does not compare himself to Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. And we could check it out right here onto this article. But before we do, what's your thoughts on Gunther's opinion about the Miz, like someone that's similar to him, and then also wrestling another wrestlers like Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and many more from his reign from over a year and a half, being a intercontinental champion, and who do you think's gonna dethrone him? Which I still think my belief is gonna be still on Chad Gable, but I'm gonna let y'all put y'all's prediction in the comments down below. We're gonna move on to Gunter, like with with him, with Gunter is in the middle of a historic to draw comparisons to the likes of Roman, like comparisons to what Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are doing right now. The current WWE Intercontinental Champion, recently sat down with Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated, and when asked about being the third most important champion in WWE right now, behind Seth freaking Rollins and Roman Reigns, Gunther said he doesn't compare himself to either of them. He said, I don't compare myself to either one of them. Gunther said, Seth is in a very difficult situation. There have been many titles in the wrestling world that where were brand new and then compared a new title is like a startup. Only only 1 in 10 is going to succeed. It's a very difficult spot to be a newly crowned champion of a new title, which means you're the one of have to put in the work to establish it and add some prestige to it. I think he's doing an excellent job. He's one of the best we have. And again, Roman is in a and he said about Roman Reigns is in a completely different category. He's been champion for so long, obviously. He's not defending the title that often, but at this stage, like of the title run, he doesn't need to. Like it should only happen a few times of the year, very special occasions, and I'm in a completely different story, establishing myself. That's something the other two don't need to do, and I'm working to enhance the legacy of the Intercontinental Championship. But what's your thoughts on his opinions on Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns? Let me know in the comments down below. Of them saying like they're like Roman Reigns rarely defends his championship, but he's like at the stage that he like occasionally defends that championship. Like which I'm not sure if that's a good reason for him not defending the title. Like whether if you are a part-time deal or making a championship extra special, that doesn't mean you rarely defend. You oftenly defend it. Like, and that's the number one thing I would hand to Gunther. Like, he when he successfully defends the championship, he's actually defending that title when needed. Like when WWE needs him to, like on Raw. Like and for Seth Rollins, he's the man that won multiple championships, but he's like I don't compare to neither of those men. And Seth, like he won a brand new championship. He's doing very successful with that championship. He's like and and he wishes him the very best. And he would love to face someone like a Rollins or a Reigns. But yeah, like you said before in previous interviews, he do not consider them, especially Roman Reigns, as a dream match. And that doesn't mean like he's insulting that fact, but he's just saying like he's a that they're stars that he would face like and just be normal matches. Like it may be dream matches for WWE fans, but it's just another work in the office. Into his books.
Uncle Julian.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Somebody wants you to change.
Okay. But I'll be right back.
Because I asked and they don't want me to change it.
Like when it's me and your mommy here, like you want mommy to do it, but when everybody else is here, you want Uncle Julian to do it. Like when Grandma's trying to change it for him.
He didn't see me like because I was backwards on the ground. The mama have to do like one thing at a time while because he keeps being nosy.
Yeah, I figured you would. Uncle SNA, come on. You know when you're upset. He yelled out, getting them to wrap up baby and mommy and Christmas present. But you're going to see them tomorrow morning. When it comes to No, I'm not trying to be those. You continue, my bad. Oh. Okay, SNA back. It says like the patients while patience. He's like, while some people wait, I mean, when people want everything immediately, Gunter is a little bit more patient when it comes to his WWE career. I wouldn't do that, but I'm in the middle of doing my podcast right now. But yeah, anyways, and he also says, I'm in the right place at the I I right place at the right time. Gunter said. I he also added he said have more responsibility and I'm ready for it like everything I ever achieved and I no more no more candy from Halloween. That's been 2 months ago. It's past. That's babies. That's right. Anyways, it says have more responsibility and I'm ready for it. Like everything I ever achieved and everything I ever earned was a long process. Things. Yeah, I mean, one process things. No, Trey, you can't put this right. But anyways, Trey, you gotta watch out where you're putting your stuff. Trey, you gotta watch out. Anyway, my bad. Let me continue. Can you wait until Uncle SNA gets done? No, Trey, you're getting it on the. No, stop. Can you please go continue cooking? You can go over there and cook over there and let Uncle SNA get done with this, and you can do it. Oh, wait here. Anyways, my apologies. I'm in the right place, right process. Like things like that time to build, they're going to last longer. I know there is more room to grow. People I have asked me, has asked for that, and some want to see it sooner than others. Patience is important, and I need to continue to be patient with my career. That's worked out. That's a worked out so far, like for me. But what's your thoughts on that as well from the ring general? Like do do you think it was all because of the power of patience? The reason why he's the most successful wrestler that he is today. And yeah, and I agree with that statement in a way. Like good things happen for those who wait. Because usually when you wait for something happens for something that you want to do or desire to have or desire to have or do something it's going to be in your favor and it's gonna be worth the wait if you know what I mean. Yeah, if that makes sense to you, of course. But yeah, and I think if you have if you have any got if you have any dreams that you've been working hard for and it's come out, if it don't come right when you want it to be, or right when you want it to be, or even sooner that you want, like it's gonna come. Like it just like that day will come, and it'll be right on time. Like, and you won't have to wait for long. Like because if you show that you have that talent, and you can show it like in front of everybody, like you will, like I mean once that day comes, like and you know it's time for you to achieve, like time to be achieved, like when you on your way to your journey of success, you know when you and that's when you know, like when you have to wait, and then you continue practicing until you get it right, and then you show that talent in front of everybody. Like they're gonna notice it, and you're gonna be achieving your dreams, and you'll be given plenty of offers to, like whatever kind of desire or kind of career or success that you want, like in your life, you will have it. Like once you believe it, and you can work hard at it, like or even work smart at it, I should say. Let me rephrase that. But let's move on to the next wrestling news, and that is next up. We got some AJ Francis news now, and it says AJ Francis encountered Michael Cole to call him out, uh, flop dollar, like to set up a match. AJ Francis loves Michael Cole. Former Hit Row member Top Dollar made headlines this week when he revealed this his infamous WWE SmackDown botch dot ultimately led to discovering his he had diabetes. Francis then spoke to Muscleman Malcolm to explain more about the situation and address fans calling him Flop Dollar after the botch. I, he said, I don't care about the Flop Dollar, the thing for real. Like Francis said, I do in the fact like that's not my name, and you are too, comfortable calling me that in person. Like I won't slap your effing face off your face, like as a jokey thing, as a jokey thing. I I don't give a f. I I don't care. I was the one telling Michael Cole to keep saying it. Like when it asked about his relationship with Cole, Francis revealed they were asked. I mean, they were working. I mean, together on on trying trying to set up a match. What? Okay, Trey. Okay, you're up. Now I'll continue with him. This is what Top Dollar continued. I I love Cole. Cole loves me. Like I love my nephew. Oh. Don't you have cute little ducky nephews? Like, but let's continue. It's like Francis said, the the reason the reason Cole did everything he does is because we were working together. We were trying to get a match. I would sit at the desk at SmackDown, like while he's doing over whatever he's going over for the show, and we would have conversations about how we can try to set this up. I mean, what what we would do, what the finish would be, who else could we get involved. We had these conversations in depth. AJ Francis under Atreyu. Atreyu, get back over here. Go slide. Oh, I can't look at it. I can't sit down. I gotta continue doing my podcast. Oh, good. Great. I'm about to hear that. Hey, Birdie, brother. Everybody dropped them off. And then Grandma was helping them out wrapping up the one. You're gonna bring it back if you'll stop peeking. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. But the AJ Francis, Michael Cole didn't understand online reaction. Like AJ Francis didn't explain that he texted Cole after Survivor Series to tell him how good of a job he did, and Cole responded right back. The voice of WWE didn't understand the hate against Dollar either. He he was even being like, "Yo, I don't understand what's up with the online people. Like uh, like how do they not understand that we're doing a thing? Like why do they think that I hate you? Like like me and Cole was in on the whole thing together. That's the funniest part to me is we worked out. I mean, work you so bad you didn't even know you got worked. What's your thoughts on AJ Francis's comments his comments on the whole flop dollar storyline, like and it was supposed to turn into a match, which that was 100% the fact. With Michael Cole making fun, but no worries, like this is not no legitimate heat that he has on him. Like if anything, he just revealed on this interview saying like they're good friends and they like each other, and it was their idea to come up with this concept, like with top dollar try to go for the goes for the flip, like going for what's that, like that diving flip maneuver kind of majig, and then he lands right on his opponents, and then he lands right on his opponents, but be botched the dive, and then this is where Michael Cole calls him flop dollar, which it kind of worked in a way, but they didn't continue adding up to this botched, but it's like, but this botched like nearly saved him, like I nearly saved him because he realized that he had diabetes and he had to check that out. Otherwise, if he didn't did that flop, like you probably wouldn't have checked that out, which he could have. It could have caused death, like when it's in his future, if he didn't got it checked out, like when it came of him nearly getting injured. But a blessing in disguise came out of that, like from that botch. But since that, yeah, ever since the botch, like yeah, we heard Michael Cole making fun of Top Dog, calling him Flop Dollar, which which he was known for that for the past couple weeks. But let me know in the comments down below on what you think about this, and do you think that we will have a match like between Francis and Cole, like like if he ever did came back, which I'm not sure if it'll ever happen anytime soon though. But never say never for a return. But that'll be probably later on in in his career as a professional wrestler. And besides, he just made his I believe he made his GCW debut, and he attacked Joey Janela from behind and beat the absolute sugar honey iced tea out of him. So I think he's gonna be doing GCW in the meantime until like another company picks him up, like whatever that be in AEW, TNA, New Japan, uh, Major League, National Wrestling Alliance, CMLL, AAA, or even a return to WWE, which, like I said, I'm not sure if that will happen anytime soon. It'll depend on WWE's, even though depend on WWE, even though it was because of Endeavor's doing rather than WWE. Otherwise, we'll see Triple H trying to find a way to keep him on there and book a feud between him and Michael Cole with him making fun of him. But making fun of him with him being flop dollar and botching his dive. But I think my dad a sit down conversation of him talking about. But yeah, but it made it seem like and it turns out that yeah, it wasn't true, and yeah, and it was yeah, the rumored hate on one another, it turned out not to be true, and it was all just a scripted uh segment. But and it's and according to Top Dollar, or AJ Francis, whatever you want to call him, that he also says that he and also like they had a sit down conversation about pitching an idea of building up this match, and had some few ideas. Which what you thought those ideas were like in the road to their upcoming match? Let me know in the comments down below on that as well. And also what do you thought what the match would have done? Like, would it have been very entertaining, or would have been too goofy enough to be a match? And that's going to be in question in talks of a potential bout. But yeah, either way, let me know in the comments down below. We're going to move on to the next wrestling news. We got some JBL news now as okay, we got some JBL reflects on his run as Baron Corbin's manager, and it says right here, JBL looks back on his time as Baron Corbin's manager. Like WWE Hall of Famer John Bradshaw Layfield returned to WWE as Baron Corbin's manager in October 2022. He was featured alongside Corbin for a few months until they parted ways in February. Speaking on like stories with Briscoe, like and uh, uh, So I say, speaking the stories with Briscoe and Bradshaw, JBL was asked if JBL if was asked if there were any differences between the Corbin he, between Corbin he managed and the ones fans see today. Andrew Thompson of Post Wrestling for the transcription on this story. The former WWE champion had to say this. It's the huh? Yeah. Oh, your iPad. Why don't you say so? Here you go. Yes, charged. Yep, 100%. But this is what JBL said onto this interview. It's the same Baron Corbin and no difference. Like JBL said, I like Baron and I still like Baron, and Baron's a very talented guy. He's won a lot of championships. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, like World War, about a battle royal winner. Like he just won some judo competition. Like Baron's a big tough athlete guy. Like played pro football and people ask him all the time. And generally, I would never answer because I don't like talking about current storylines. He he continued, I don't think you should talk about, in my opinion, because I think like it hurts if you're involved and even though I'm not involved in the current storyline like anymore, but I answer it on Dutch Mantel's podcast, so I'm certainly gonna answer it on this one. JBL was also on Baron Corbin has been successful in everything he's done. He finished off by saying, or JBL continued by noting that he did not know whether is pairing with Baron Corbin was supposed to be long term or not. He recalled how it came together. The legend then admitted that he was not sure whether WWE had more plans for the duo. JBL also stated that Corbin has been successful in everything. And this is what he had to say right here. Like I know like if the deal with Corbin was supposed to be long term or not, I had no idea. They asked me to come to into Oklahoma and cut a promo like JBL said. I had flown myself in for free to do that in Oklahoma. He laughed while laughing. Like they love me so much, and then I just did some more stuff with him, and I don't know if it was cut off or if it was they never had long term plans for it or not. I don't know what happened. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed working with Baron. And people have said Corbin's been through a lot of lit- literation. Like look look at uh, our roster from 1995 to the Attitude Era. Just just a few years earlier, like Stone Cold was the ringmaster. Triple H was a, a arist, aristocrat, aristocrat, aristocrat. I should say aristocrat. Uh, Kane was the dentist. Rockabilly, rockabilly. Road Dogg and I was in acolyte, and Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, two of the biggest stars in wrestling history, were Diesel and Razor Ramon. So guys just go through migrations of characters like that means that nothing Baron's been very successful about. Every everything he's done. And what's your thoughts on JBL? Sharing some thoughts of how the pairing how the pairing excuse me how the pairing of him being Corbin's manager was. And do you think it was very successful for a good few months, or do you think it was only? But what's your thoughts on Baron Corbin being or JBL being Baron Corbin's manager? Do you think it should have been longer, or do you think it was only good enough for a short stint? I'll say for me, I'll say it was good for a short stint, and even for him not liking to share storylines, like he he has to admit that he was very successful into that run, and there's nothing different about him between then and now, and from any time we're being Baron Corbin in the main roster. Like he has so many achievements, being king of the ring, United States champion, and even won the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal when he made his main roster debut. Even though he hasn't won that much championships, but he has been a very entertaining and a very successful heel figure in the WWE. And I don't think he has changed at all. Like I still think he's the same bald ass Corbin from ever since 2018 when he decided to shave his hair off, which I thought he was very much cooler when he used to have hair, because he played the lone wolf character very well with. But when he started to be Happy Corbin, I'll say maybe this is the character for him to be bald, and then he's being the most obnoxious uh, jackass in all of professional wrestling or WWE. Like, no offense to him, I'd say the person of Baron Corbin. I'd say the character he's playing, the role as him as a heel. If that, if you know what I mean, yeah. Like he plays a very good heel. If that makes sense, of course. But again, let me know in the comments down below what's your thoughts on JBL. But it said it just they just went up to him like like a month or two prior before he became Baron Corbin's manager by saying we want you to do this manage do a role as him playing being Corbin's manager, of course. So he gladly agreed to do the task of being Corbin's like allied manager, I should say. And they only lasted until Corbin started to lose matches, and that's when when they split up and went their separate ways. Like as you see on TV, with him saying like, "I cannot manage you because you cannot polish a turd," which we have seen him like since then. He been losing more matches, and even lost to the debuting Cameron Grimes like in 7 seconds, I believe. Like, and he hit the double by doing the double foot stomp, and then he got drafted as a free agent in WWE, which they moved him up to NXT, which I'm not sure if it's a good idea nor a bad idea though. Like, it depends. I mean, he had some really good banger matches, like with the likes of like Carmelo Hayes, what's his name, Ilya Dragunov recently, and even defeating Braun Breaker in a really entertaining match. I like to show like he still have more left in the tank, whether if that be in an NXT or the main roster. But let's move on to some Santos Escobar news now. It says Dragon Lee is going to be a big star. And this is where we got we got Santos Escobar speaks highly on current NXT North American Champion Dragon Lee, despite facing each other at WWE Survivor Series last month. Santos Escobar recently spoke to Freddie Prinze Jr. on his Wrestling with Freddie podcast and explained why he thinks Dragon Lee is going to be a big star. He said, Dragon Lee is going to be a big star. Escobar said, it's pretty obvious that he's got something going on. He's been on the main roster for less than 2 months. He already had his first one-on-one at a premium live event. We have crazy chemistry. Triple H has said it in the press conference after like after like two lucha guys like that bring more than just being two lucha guys. That's what I wanted. That what I wanted. Like that was my vision. Like I know like the urge is there. You have 12 to 15 minutes like to go out and just do crazy stuff. Like the but the truth is if you stay lucha, like you stay lucha. Like I want to create uh, a hybrid, much like we did with Lucha Underground and other places. Try try to bring my style with the American style, so anyone that watches the show will connect and understand what I am trying to do. Also, because want to work with Randy, I want to work with Roman. I want to work with everybody out there. Keeping myself in a box is not going to help me. I need to I need to portray this and share the vision. Dragon Lee, he got it. The Escobar beat Lee to advance in the United States Championship tournament on December 8th episode of SmackDown. Like he said, SmackDown like Lee bounced back, beating Butch on the December 22nd episode of SmackDown. And what's your thoughts on Santos Escobar? Have high praise for Dragon Lee, and he put on a 12 to 15 minutes, like whatever they had, like for the match at Survivor Series, and praised that match too, of doing some crazy lucha stuff, like and doing over top rope maneuvers, like and dives and lucha libre style wrestling in the ring, which that was very nice of the game of booking that in for the two guys, and these two guys are getting like comparisons of Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero with their very talented maneuvers, which I'll agree with Plana. They're not the next Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, but they could be stars just like them, like when they were back 25 years ago, like 20 or should I say 20 and 25 years ago, and their run in like in WCW, WWE, even independent wrestling companies, even had that very great high anticipated match with CM Punk in the triple threat match, of course, in that independent wrestling promotion when CM Punk was getting his start in professional wrestling. Like, yeah, like I think they could be just like them. They could be just the time be memorable and very what's that word? They'll have that prestige that they'll be notable, like from everybody all over wrestling, and even everybody knows about WWE. But yeah, Mama, Mama, let you guys let me know about your opinions about this high praise from Santos Escobar to Dragon Lee. And Dragon Lee's currently holding the NXT North American Championship, but he beat the the guy he beaten like a day after he lost to Santos Escobar at round one at part one, round one of the United States Championship No More Contender in the Invitational Tournament. Like, and also like Santos Escobar like soon after beat Bobby Lashley 2 weeks later, which was 2 nights ago, like with thanks to some assistance to a truly rumored alliance, like future alliance teammates, like a future Legado del Fantasma 2.0 future teammates, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, which they were under the mask by distracting Bobby Lashley by attacking his allies, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. What's gonna be next for the both Latino stars and the two Latino stars in WWE right now in the comments down below. And do you think we're going to see them in more and more matches? And oh yeah, also not forget about Survivor Series, their match, like with Dragon Lee taking Carlito's place, fighting Santos Escobar, which Santos Escobar got the better of Dragon Lee, and he excuse me. But he got the better of him twice. But let's hope Dragon Lee can bounce back from these two losses and start getting some wins out of Santos Escobar. But yeah, like I said, I don't think they have to. They don't have to be like compared in Santos. They have to be compared as Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero just to get those comparisons. Like they could be their own versions of the legendary Latino professional wrestlers slash luchadors, I should say, and lucha libre. If you know what I mean, yeah, they can be like just as successful as they were, like and be stars as they were in their own rights. But like them like showing these insane lucha libre style moves, like over the top rope, springboards, walking onto the ropes, like all that stuff they learned and they're like learned as luchadors. Like even on AEW, they do that. Like El Vikingo and Commander with a K, and even Penta El Ziedo Miedo. But yeah, on AEW, like, and I noticed like WWE and AEW is starting to be more a fan of lucha libre style wrestling. Yeah, which is very interesting. And yeah, and I remember watching the guys like Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero when I was like 2 or 3 years old, like with my older brother. Like, which we were big fans of those guys, of Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. Yeah. Like watching SmackDown, of course, like in that time in the Ruthless Aggression era. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next wrestling news, and that is got some Deonna Purrazzo news now. It says talks like potentially facing Rhea Ripley or Io Sky for Rhea Ripley or Io Sky down the line. Says Deonna Purrazzo chooses like her like her hip chooses her hypothetical WrestleMania opponent during a recent interview with Gabby AF. Like the the three-time Impact Knockouts world champion was asked if who she would want to challenge at WrestleMania if she were to hypocritic. I'm not hypocrite. But hypothetically win the 2024 Royal Rumble, given her looming free agency. She said, "Oh, that's tough. That's tough." Like like Brazel said, "I wish I could choose like both of them. So I so I so I wrestle both Rhea and I I wrestled Rhea a ton of times. Let me rephrase that. I wrestled Rhea a ton of times, like on the NXT house shows, like loops, like in Florida, like house show loops in Florida. We we wrestled for the NXT UK's for the NXT UK Women's Championship, like in the main event of a NXT UK on an NXT UK where Rhea defeated me. So I feel like there's that where we know each other very well, but there's also Io, who I've wrestled in Japan a ton of time. Like we actually. Is a lizard? Can I get a huggy and a kissy and a fishy? No.
Fish in water, they swim.
Yeah. Are you gonna get fishy?
Oh, my dog truck. I don't like that.
You like,
My dog truck.
okay, I'll get your dump truck.
Oh, thank you.
Here you go.
Oh.
Here, put on this little fishing hat. Our birdie.
Get my fall hat. Get my fall hat.
Uh-huh. But anyways, she wrestled Io Sky plenty of times, and I'm like Io, like we actually were in the same performance center like class, like at the same time in July 2018. So we came in together, and I feel like that. Like that would be a really cool story to tell of look what we've gone on to do while you stay in WWE and I had to leave and redeem myself. I little bit, and now like I'm coming back for your championship. I feel like is a really cool story. So my answer is EO. I feel like it's EO. And do you want to see Deanna Prazo, the face EO Sky, like in hypothetically at WrestleMania? Let me know in the comments down below. But now reading this article, Deanna Prazo makes a good point. And she said she faced EO Sky in Japan. She could even bring that up. Like I remember we even had matches plenty of times in her home country in Japan. But she said she had matches with her and had live event matches for the NXT UK Women's Championship with Rhea Ripley in her time as the UK champion in 2018. But what's your thoughts on who should she face if she hypothetically wins the Royal Rumble? If she makes a Royal Rumble, make a Royal Rumble appearance and even return, and she could face either the Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley or the WWE Women's Champion Io Sky, which it has plenty of story to tell right there. She'll be like, I like I had to like we both wrestled each other before in her country in Japan like nearly a decade ago, and we had the same what's that class, the performance center class of training, like of getting into that ring shape and learn the the basics in professional in their wrestling product, of course. Like she'll be saying like she wasn't so lucky as she was. Like when she turned out to be a former NXT Women's Champion, a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, a former Women's Tag Team Champion, and now a a current WWE Women's Champion. Like I had to go out there and reinvent myself like elsewhere, and then I'm back here, and I'm coming back for your championship, EO, and show you that I'm much more of a better women's star than you are. Like whether if it's here or elsewhere. Well, I'll say I'll erase the last part, but I'll say I'm much more of a better women's star than you ever been. Which that would be perfect in storybooks. Like if you make a promo package, like a vignette, or even a promo segment, or make it into a vignette into when you're hyping up more of the match, like on the road to WrestleMania. As I see what what's her name, Deanna Purrazzo is. I see where Deanna Purrazzo is coming from. I think it's well. This is a well-told storytelling feud. Like if things go in that path, like there's so much story to tell about their journey into success in professional wrestling and sports entertainment. Like most importantly, WWE. And do you think she will win the Royal Rumble? Now she's a free agent in all of professional wrestling. Do you think WWE's gonna sign her? Is she gonna make a Royal Rumble return, like but in her Royal Rumble debut as well? Which I don't think she would win the Rumble, unfortunately, on my list. But I mean, don't doubt it. Like I'm not saying I'm doubting it. I'm saying like I would more prefer that would be in Becky Lynch or even Bailey's. I'll say Becky Lynch or Bailey's spot, like which we'll see Bailey look like she's gonna be facing Io Sky, but it'll be a twist. Like I mean, face Rhea Ripley, but she'll decide to do Io Sky, like which she won't not be sure until she. But it'll be the total opposite version of Batista when Triple H tried to convince to go after JBL's WWE Championship, so he got all win the champion, be all champion, but he chose Triple H like when he put his thumbs up and thumbs down. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. What's Deanna Purrazzo's future? Like if she ever signed back with WWE, except as a main roster star. But let's move on to the next wrestling news, and that is we got some Matt Cardona news now, and that is Matt Cardona has some few messages. Just a few thoughts on. Huh? Have some what? Have some of what? What? Just be specific about it. I'll be right back. It's very hard, but still enough. Okay, hope that it took so long. Okay, we got the former Zack Ryder had to share some thoughts about his wife and saying Chelsea Green was saying Chelsea Green was my Elizabeth Steph DeLander is my favorite Sherry. Is a former WWE Intercontinental Champion. Matt Cardona has been one of the most promising stars outside of the Stanford-based promotion. Recently, he shared a story about his trip to Australia for a wrestling show. Recently, Matt Cardona revealed that he needed someone new to watch his back during a trip to Australia, as his Elizabeth Chelsea Green was stuck in New York. It was it was in the it was in the island con- continent continent the island continent that they found former WWE star Steph DeLander to help him out. The event that he took part in and was day one of WSW's Unleash Hell event. Cardona and Brian Myers teamed up to take on Matt Matt Basil and Eric Redbeard, and the self-proclaimed indie god took to Twitter to share the story of his match that he had back in Australia in March. He said, "In March, I went to Australia for WS WSW wrestling. Like I asked, SW in Australia. Not only did I win the WSW World Championship, but I found uh, Steph DeLander with Chelsea Green back in New York. I needed some new to watch my back. Chelsea was my Elizabeth. I I needed my Sherry. Like I saw like Steph like in Australia, like 6 feet tall, like face piercings, like face piercings, jacked in jacked. I knew she was the one. I asked her if she want to tour the world with me and be my heater. Like, of course, I called my wife for permission first. Like she said yes, and we've been con like we've been conquered the entire independent wrestling ever since 2023 was was one of the years of my career every day until New Year's. Like I'm going to post a picture of a different highlight of my a year. I want your help choosing post your favorite 2023 of Cardona. You can kind of mix that up. Here's the post right here on Twitter/X about his tour in Australia at WSW. Team with former tag partner Brian Myers, aka Kurt Hawkins, and their female manager, Sherry. That's what it is. Oh yeah, Sherry, aka the former Persia Parada. But yeah, Matt. But yeah, what's your thoughts on Matt Cardona about that and being the WSW World Champion and they and met up with his wife Chelsea Green and also what's his name uh, what's his name Steph Delander, that's what his name is. But let's move on to the next. But it says like Cardona spoke with WrestleZone's Bill Pritchard like about his dynamic like with Steph Delander like last year. Like he found himself without Chelsea Green with who returned to WWE and Brian Myers like we signed with Impact Wrestling. Pritchard noted that trio was re- reminiscent reminiscent like of ECW's Impact player or Triple Threat. Like Cardona and you said she's China, Sherry and Luna all wrapped into one, and that's how he pitched the pairing. He said, "I would consider her like, and this is how I kind of pitched it to her. I want her to be like my, I don't know, want to say China, right? There's only one China," Matt Cardona said, "but I like my China, my Sherry, my Luna, all wrapped up in one because Steph and I, like, she could be my heater, my manager. I will like if you will my valet. He's like, but then we could have mixed tag team matches, like or we've had tag team matches against two other men the because she can kick some effing ass. As I mean, we have this dynamic that works in so many different situations. I think that's my not. I guess that's why not only has it been fun, but it's been successful, and there's no denying that it's been successful. I mean, you just said it. But what's your thoughts on Matt Cardona? Uh, Matt Cardona saying this about his mixed tag partner and manager, Sherry, I believe, like being compared to a China, like she's like his China, even though there's only one China. And yeah, and do you think he's going to be heading to WWE very soon, making his WWE return by 2024 by being some kind of an alliance with his wife, being a Kevin, like which since his wife's a Karen, like if his wife's a Karen, like do you think he's going to be playing a Kevin gimmick, like a male version of a Karen, I should say, to be specific? Why did you spill this? You need to be more. You need to be more calm and more clean. Oh, oh, that shouldn't even been in here. That was here earlier. Oh, clean that up. What's, what's wrong with you right now? Zach, calm down. I know it's Christmas. I know you're excited. Stop. No. Stop. You need to start being so good right now. Stop being so bad. Or Santa Claus going to take back all these Christmas presents. You need to be careful behind me.
Wrestle has a nice big hat. That's right. He has two eyes and a mouth made out of coal. And such a beautiful smile. Why, gosh. What do you think we should use for our snooping? A carrot, maybe? Yes. Listen, why don't you bring this big carrot for us?
Okay. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below what's your thoughts on that. We're going to move on to the next video, and that is I'm not next, the next slide. Enzo Amore claims 205 Live was, let's see, was beating NXT in the ratings on WWE Network. where it says on here, one of the controversial former WWE superstars is hello. Hey man, hey, put me on my phone right now. Oh, can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let you know. You're welcome. You're trying to get a hold of you, but I think your phone died. Okay. Yeah, he needs to talk to you right now. Yeah. All right, I told him. You're welcome. Yeah, gladly to help. Yeah. You're welcome. Anytime. Mhm. Okay, see you when you get back as well. All right. All right. Bye bye. No, I can't. No, Uncle Julie.
No, I didn't get it. That's cute, baby. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. It's that Enzo Amore said claims that NXT ratings is
I mean, I got like $10 left. That's all I got. God is coming. I got money coming for you.
Enzo Amore claimed
I didn't actually get all my money like I was supposed to. There's only
Amore was a guest on the Click This podcast. During the episode, Enzo shared the success of 205 Live. He said, at the time when I was in 205 Live, and I don't take all the credit for it. I mean, we had an incredible roster of people, so it wasn't it wasn't all me, but 205 Live was beating NXT in the ratings on the WWE Network. Well, I was the perfect heel for what they did. I came in and they did their sugar honey iced tea, and I ran I around with my hair on fire and kicked in the nuts like to beat you. What's your thoughts on that? Like with this statistic, like about of his opinion, or more like statistic about or his thoughts on his time in WWE when he was in the 205 Live roster. And but yeah, let me know in the comments down below if if let me know in the comments below on what's your thoughts on if Kenny. Let me know in the comments on his opinion on the 205 Live Purple and Cruiser NXT Cruiserweight brand beating the main NXT show in ratings in the network. Do what's your thoughts on this? Do you think that NXT was beating them in ratings back in 2017 and this time as part of the NXT Cruiserweights and 205 Live? Let me know in the comments down below. But also in that same interview, I believe is that the former cruiserweight champion also revealed that he didn't do any dives or flips because he got to do something no one else like could and that was 5 minutes and of microphone time. Like every 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 time he made his way to the ring, like when he made his way to the ring, he said, "When you're there, like and you're in the wrestling, not wrestling, you're in the WWE or whatever major promotion got a boss. It's a show. It's it's so big. There's 8 matches on the card. Get in where you fit in, like." And people would always be like, "Oh, Enzo doesn't wrestle. Enzo can't wrestle. Enzo doesn't do dives." It's like, bro, get in where you can fit in, bro. I got 5 minutes in talking sugar honey iced tea on my way to the ring. Nobody else has that in this company. Mother effer. Like you realize how lucky I am. You think I'm going to do like a drop kick and a effing hurricane rana in that 5 minutes? I'd rather talk because that's what these people want. They they don't want to see me do a effing drop kick, bro. Enzo Amore said. But what's your thoughts on Enzo Amore getting some criticism from him being on 205 Live? He's not doing some high flying maneuvers, and also not to mention drop kicks or anything athletic like some that most cruiserweights would do. But he didn't even have to do any of those things just to be like a cruiserweight. It has to be like the rules of being a cruiserweight. You have to be 205 pounds or less to be in the division. But if you're over that weight, I think it used to be like 220, 230 pounds to be in the cruiserweight division. Right, but I think they lowered it down just to make it more small, like smaller, because that's more like cruiserweight size. Like someone that's doing, but but yeah, let me know in the comments below what's your thoughts on Enzo Amore, like of on his time as a cruiserweight with the how was like 205 Live NXT was. NXT was the better show and more of the interesting show. That's because sometimes they featured them on Raw, because I remember watching them on Raw at the time, like well in 2017, and it was like the likes of him, Mustafa Ali, Tony Nese, Drew Gulak without his beard. I but yeah, and even Cedric Alexander, Gentleman Jack Gallagher, TJP, uh, and I think even Mike Bennett or Mike Kanellis at the time, because he was using his wife's last name, Maria Kanellis, of course, and Akira Tozawa, not to mention. But but let me know in the comments what your thoughts on that. And yeah, you don't have to be a high flyer just to be a cruiserweight. Like it specifically states in the rules that you only have to be 205 pounds, which he was probably less than that. And also, and also, and what else? And it was, and what was it? It was another, and it was another. Oh yeah, oh it was Drew Gulak, and who else was it? It was somebody that was like less than 205 pounds, and they still then it wasn't like a high flying, like more like a technician. While Enzo Amore, he's like a fighter, like more like a fighter rather than a like a like technical. like either technical or high, rather than technical or high flyer. That's what Enzo Amore was like in his time in WWE, like on NXT, the main roster, and 205 Live. And do you think one day we'll see Enzo Amore return and perhaps him teaming with Big Cass again? Only time will tell. Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, we got some news like with Eddie Kingston will take on Bryan Danielson, set as Blue League's Continental Classic Finals on December 27th on AEW Dynamite this Wednesday. The Blue League Continental Classic Final has been set with Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson set to face off next week on AEW Dynamite. During last night's episode of AEW Collision, Eddie Kingston defeated Andrade El Idolo, cementing his place as second in the Blue League, behind Bryan Danielson, who earned the top spot by after he drew with Claudio Castagnoli last night. Following Kingston's win, Danielson came down to the ring, and two had a brief stare down that ended with Danielson and Kingston shared words with one another. On the Gold League side of the Continental Classic, it'll be Swerve Strickland versus John Moxley versus Jay White, going at it with the two winners of each league meeting at AEW World's End to crown the first ever AEW Continental Classic champion. And what's your thoughts on that? Who's gonna and this Wednesday we will see the semifinals of two matches. We'll see John Moxley and Jay White and Swerve Strickland in the Gold League side in the three-way finals match, while we have Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson on the other side being a finals into the Blue Leagues, the Blue League Continental Classic finals. And who thinks gonna win? Which my money is on. They could be Swerve Strickland, but then again, we might see interference with Keith Lee, which will probably will lead to World's End. They'll have their match at World's End. So I would say John Moxley. And I'll say between Danielson and Kingston, I would say Kingston. But either one, they have history with John Moxley previously, whether if it was in or outside of AEW, is best friends or rivals from the past. So they have a dozen times as history as anybody else does in this tournament. Everybody else has in this tournament. So I would say, if it's anybody's going to be definitely either Kingston or Danielson, like I predicted. So I would say Bryan Danielson. I'll think of Eddie Kingston. He will hold the titles until the finals, until someone like John Moxley beats him with both those championships along with the Continental Championship. But I would say then again, even though Eddie Kingston could pull off a shocker like him winning the whole damn thing and being Triple Crown Continental Champion, still holding the Ring of Honor World Championship and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship, along with the AEW Continental Championship too, of being a Triple Crown champion. But at the same time, I would say Danielson, because considering their Blackpool Combat Club mates, he went past the other one, Claudio Castagnoli, to get to face Eddie Kingston, and then we got him facing John Moxley in the finals, which we will have them. Who think will win that match? I would say Bryan Danielson. Not just because he's the favorite, but he looked like the guy that more dedicated and motivated of winning this match. For the fact that he's been speaking it on himself ever since Tony Khan made the announcement. But let me know in the comments who's your pick on the Continental Classic winner on the semifinals and the finals, and who's going to be the inaugural AEW Triple Crown promotional Continental Champion. But we're going to end this video with some but we got some Dominic Mysterio news now. Says he's too good to looking to wear a mask. Too good looking to wear a mask, and Dominic Mysterio wanted to wear a mask, but now he realized he's too handsome to cover up. At this time, I'm not sure if handsome's the best term to use. But anyways, speaking with the West Australian, I should say. Well, let me rephrase that with the way I say it. Dominic Mysterio was asked about the potential for him to wear a luchador mask.
I have some cheese.
Okay, you can have some cheese.
Okay.
Anyways, Dominic said that he originally wanted to go that route, but now he really doesn't feel the need to do so now. He said, originally, I wanted to wear a mask. I wanted to do the whole lucha traditional thing, but it all came so fast, especially like with my debut match with Seth, especially with my debut match with Seth, and then everything else, like plus I'm way too good looking. Laughs. He was while laughing like a, a a lot like luchadors like wear masks, but I mean there's not good looking dudes. There's a big net like a big net that Eddie the a big net that Eddie Eddie like Guerrero does back in WCW, like where someone stole his wallet and he lines up every luchador. He lines up every lucha in WCW and he makes everyone take off their mask, and his facial reaction to all these guys, he's scared because all these guys are hideous, like my dad included, like in Dragon Lee. So that's a big reason why I don't wear a mask. I feel like I'm just the hair and I'm good looking, like, and it takes away from it all. What's your thoughts on Dominic Mysterio's reason why he haven't wore a mask like in his running as a WWE superstar and wrestler? Let me know in the comments down below. Which yeah, I agree with him. It just doesn't fit him very well. I mean, he made a cameo appearance by wearing a mask by making his entrance, but he eventually took it off in his match against his self-proclaimed deadbeat dad, which I don't think he's a deadbeat. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in WWE right now, like because of him, like if that was the case. But anyways, we're gonna continue to talk about that. Like he wore that, but it just didn't seem like him. It's like if it's actually a Rey Mysterio's son, but it does not fit Dominic Mysterio as him alone, like of wearing the mask. And I don't think luchadors wear the mask to look ugly. It's just the cartoonish, like they're just making it like cartoonish and superhero, like based into their style of wrestling. Like Jericho would say, like I would agree, like like you got Japan with the strong style, we got American with the entertainment, and then we got like with the high flyings and the entertainment and the fighting and the brawling, like, and we got Lucha Libre, like Mexico, with the cartoon based and superhero kind of characters. And then I bet some of y'all wondering that I got my mask and cape inspired by a luchador. Well, I wouldn't say per se a luchador, rather much more like superhero based. But I happen to like wrestling as well, so I thought of putting this together like a superhero kind of gimmick as a wrestling kind of journalistic kind of persona, yeah, if you know what I mean. But I would say not use the term handsome. But do you think Dominic Mysterio is handsome and too handsome to be wearing a luchador mask? I'll let y'all to be the judge of that in the comments down below as well. But we're gonna move on and end this video with some Chris Jericho news now. With Jericho on balancing acting with professional wrestling, like it's all timing, what he describes it. Chris Jericho has become a jack of all trades, like in recent years, between wrestling, acting, and even singing. All Elite Wrestling's Chris Jericho, like recently sat down with WFAA, like when asked about his role in the movie MacGruber. Jericho said there was a lot of improving in his scene with Will Forte, I believe. And it said, it says like, and he said, funny thing about Will Forte, it's that he said, funny thing about that, like, is that was quote, or not quote quite. I mean, what's it quote quite? Was quite a lot of improving. Like Chris Jericho revealed, Will Forte was also a was grounding and typing or typical grounding and typical typical Jericho when they asked me to do the part. I was like, well, I'll only do it if there's lines. And so they had some lines. I was like, that's not enough lines. I'm just going to prove to improve with him, and either he'll he'll go with it, or he won't, and either the director will like it, or he. Trey, can you excuse me for a second? Anyways, Trey, can you play with this after Uncle SNA gets done?
I want to play.
No, not now, Trey. You.
I want to play.
Oh no! It's in a. No, Trey. You. Play with some other toy for now until Uncle SNA gets done. Directors will like it, or he won't. Like they could just say, "Hey, Chris, stick with to the script," or "That's great. Let's do it again." And so, Trey, you gotta be careful. Trey, you gotta be careful. Y'all watch out where you're going. Anyways, script, or that's great, let's do it again. And so that's what we did. Improve. I mean, it was a short scene, but it would have been a lot shorter had I not thrown a couple lines at him. Balancing wrestling, acting, and singing. When asked about not being able to act earlier in his career due to his commitments to WWE and Fozzy, Jericho said it really all comes down to timing. He said, "So yeah, I mean, so you kind of go into to it with the attitude, that idea, and I've done actually quite a few movies, like over the last year, like or two, for the last year or two. It's kind of that world. It is opening up now a little bit more as well," Chris Jericho said. So it all timing, like, I mean, I couldn't really do a lot of acting in the 2000s and 2010s because I was working 4 days, like in 4 days in a week, like with WWE, and Fozzy comes into play as well, and that kind of takes up a lot, like, of time but now with AEW we work basically once a week. I mean, sometimes it's two, but most of the time, like, it's one. So it gives you a give you a lot more time to do, like, the Fozzy tours, and that's why that band has grown as much as we have, or to do more acting, which is why we've done 5 movies in the last year, maybe six, something like that. Oh yeah, it's all timing. So yeah, it's all timing, and just uh, keeping the plate spinning in a way that you can make everything work. And what do you think about his easy scheduling? Like, now he don't have that much time on his plate in wrestling, like, which is only most of the times once a week. Well, sometimes it's 2 times a week, like, out of the week. But let me know in the comments. Trey, you don't throw this cup.
Ow.
Trey, you be careful. No, Trey, you stop it. I don't know what's up with him, but anyways, but let me know in the comments down below. And also, hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like the big thumbs up button while you're on this video. And also, that was it for today's video of the. And also, I've been before I continue, I'll say, remind you, I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin, on this 194th episode of the SNA podcast. It's the wrestling news, part 100, part 70, part 75, I believe. And
I need my car.
okay.
My car broke. It
This
broke.
This one? This one?
No.
This one?
No.
Can you wait just a second, Trey?
I like it.
Anyways, let me finish off by saying, yeah, there's on this episode where I talked about the wildest wrestling news stories, rumors that you SNA fans need to know from the WrestleZone article. Make sure y'all check it out for yourself as well. That was your list of all the wrestling news. Which one was your favorite? Also, let me know also about that in the comments down below. And the wrestling news on December 24th, 2023, Christmas Eve edition. And hopefully y'all have a great Christmas Eve and a great Christmas and a wonderful Merry Christmas and a blessed and safe one at that. And happy holidays as well. And I'll see you on Tuesday on my next wrestling news video, which will be episode 195, part 76 of the wrestling news, where I'm going to be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know from the Wrestle Talk article. But until then, like, I'll see you guys in 2 days from now. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin, the Assassin, out. Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye. And I hope y'all have a great one as well.